This is the Bowne Report for, what day is it? May 29th, 2025. Coming up, the last 4 years in the White House was nothing short of a zombie movie. Austin, Texas DA Jose Garza has been exposed by his own Soros-inspired writings. And what is under the Great Pyramid, for crying out loud? The veil has been completely ripped away, and those that have a shred of concern are staring into the abyss of a White House that had been run not by an elected president, but by a crew of dementia-riddled establishment on the take and a shadowy cabal of unelected operatives, a crew of nobodies led by Joe Biden's wife that were running the show. A woman who, according to reports from insiders, routinely punished and mocked Shuffling Joe.
Joe, you did such a great job. You answered every question. You knew all the... And let me ask the crowd, what did Trump do? Lied! Yes.
Jill Biden and company were, of course, merely repeating ancient Roman history. It was Emperor Claudius's wife, Agrippina, and former slave Narcissus that manipulated state affairs, while Claudius, often portrayed as feeble, was propped up as a figurehead. Fast forward to Dick Cheney's influence over George W. Bush's administration that was so profound that critics dubbed him the shadow president, as Cheney orchestrated foreign policy and energy deals behind the scenes, while Bush played the public face like a second-string talk show host.
The answer was no.
I have another question.
No, the answer to your question is whether I'm going to answer questions is still the same as it was
Let me just
before.
try one. Are you going to have Abu Mazen to the White House now that Ariel Sharon has been invited? What does that mean?
That means I'm not answering questions. When I say I'm not answering questions, it means I'm not going to answer questions.
And now Project Veritas has dropped yet another bombshell exposing DNC, or former DNC, Vice Chair David Hogg and former Biden White House staffer Detarian Jones, admitting that Jill Biden's chief of staff, Anthony Bernal, wielded an enormous amount of power, quote, an enormous amount of power behind the scenes.
Yes,
Nice to meet you, yeah.
off the record, of course.
Foundational question for me is like, how corrupt is the DNC if so many people knew, or few people knew about Biden, well, the president of the United States?
I mean, I think the fact of the matter is the DNC is always going to be like a campaign arm of the president, ultimately. The bigger issue was like the inner circle that was around Biden. That's it.
And I can't stress to you enough.
Like Joe Biden's chief of staff, like had an enormous amount of power.
Joe Biden?
Jill Biden's chief of staff.
That was like an open secret at the left. Like, I would avoid him. Like, he was scary.
What was his name?
Anthony Bernal.
I've never seen him.
Exactly.
What do you mean?
He's like a shadowy, like, Wizard of Oz type figure. That's what made him so, like, I knew how he looked, but I'm like, the general public wouldn't know how this man looked. But he wielded an enormous amount of power, and I can't stress to you how much power he had at the White House.
And the plot thickens with the Autopen scandal. House Republicans, led by Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer, are zeroing in on Biden's extensive use of the Autopen to sign legislation and executive orders, including controversial preemptive pardons for January 6th, not prisoners, but committee members. President Trump declared these pardons void on Truth Social, alleging they were signed without Biden's knowledge, fueling obvious claims of a mindless presidency on autopilot. Comer's probe, that was announced on May 16th, demands answers from aides like Annie Tomasini, Anthony Bernal, and Ashley Williams, who allegedly shielded Biden's cognitive decline while authorizing Autopen signatures. The Heritage Foundation's oversight project investigated thousands of documents that bear Autopen signatures. Nearly all official documents they reviewed spanning executive orders, pardons, and other papers from 2021 to 2024, bore the same Autopen signature, except for Biden's July 2024 letter announcing his withdrawal from the presidential race. It's good they got him in there, wheeled him in there to sign that, which had a distinct signature, of course. This suggests at least two different signatures. One consistent Autopen signature used across most documents, and a unique one for the withdrawal letter. Apparently, two distinct Autopen signatures were used, referred to as Autopen A and Autopen B. They were used for 51 of the warrants. And to add insult to injury, President Trump's White House AI crypto czar David Sachs has accused Senator Elizabeth Warren of seizing control of Joe Biden's Autopen, wielding it like a weapon to push her anti-crypto crusade during the Biden administration.
This is the financial system of the future, Jesse, and we have to encourage it. What the Biden administration was doing, and let's face it, it wasn't Biden. Elizabeth Warren controlled the Autopen during that administration. She, for some reason, has this pathological hatred of the crypto community. She wants to drive this community offshore. She doesn't want it happening in the United States. That's the wrong policy for the United States. We want all the innovation happening here. This is a financial system of the future. It's cheaper, it's more efficient. We want it happening here, Jesse, and I think people are thrilled that President Trump is making that possible.
This ties into House Oversight Chairman James Comer's probe into Biden's Autopen usage. Sachs' accusation paints Warren as a shadow puppeteer in a presidency of illusions. This probe, targeting key aides and Biden's physician, Dr. Kevin O'Connor, will eventually unmask the architects of this deception. The question now is whether Trump's team can dismantle this hidden machinery before it festers further, or if the Republic will continue to be governed by phantoms pulling strings behind a hollow executive throne in the very near future. This isn't just about Autopens and harmlessly shoving a zombie in front of a camera. It's about exposing a shadow system where power is siphoned from the Republic, electorate, the people, to a faceless elite corroding our future for their own personal gain. And speaking of Donald Trump, Warren Routh, the son of Ryan Wesley Routh, accused of attempting to assassinate President Donald Trump on September the 15th, 2024 at a Florida golf course, you remember that, is entangled in legal turmoil, the son of the shooter. He's entangled in legal turmoil that has drawn little mainstream attention. Federal investigators searched the apartment of Routh's son 6 days after the alleged assassination attempt as part of a broader federal probe. His legal team withdrew from the case, citing unspecified conflicts of interest. Interesting. Leaving him without representation and raising speculation about political motivations behind the scenes.
Timing on this is very interesting. It says the son of Ryan Routh has been taken into custody on federal charges for possessing child pornography. Investigators say they discovered, quote unquote, hundreds of files with child porn during a search of Orrin Routh's residence on Saturday, conducted, quote, in connection with an investigation unrelated to child exploitation, end quote. Investigators said pornography was found on a Samsung Galaxy Note device located inside Orrin Routh's primary bedroom, as well as another Galaxy Note device in Routh's possession. Quote, a review of the SD card located in device 1 revealed that it contained hundreds of child pornography files. These files include videos of a known child pornography series created outside the state of North Carolina. The complaint included graphic descriptions of the videos and a chat from July, which Orrin Routh allegedly responded to someone advertising the content for sale. You know what I'm thinking here? What did they do to General Flynn? They threatened to prosecute his son in order for him to take a plea and admit to the crimes.
Okay.
So what do you think the chances are here that Ryan Routh is being told, you don't say a fucking word about anything, anybody associated with you? You are a lone wolf. And if you aren't, your son is going to go to prison for child porn and have the most miserable rest of his life you could ever imagine. You're telling me that this guy Routh, left 2 cell phones. We're not talking about like deep down encrypted in his computer or anything like on his cell phone. This guy just left 2 cell phones on his nightstand in his bedroom, knowing that his house was going to be raided after his dad tried to kill a former president and a future president. Come on, guys.
Some sources have even suggested connections to a larger network, with private investigator Doug Hagman claiming geolocation data linked to the earlier Trump assassination attempt by Thomas Matthew Crooks in July of 2024 indicates a possible connection and conspiracy to Routh. Meanwhile, Kash Patel's FBI still has yet to cough anything up.
This data led us to the identification of 4 suspects. All have been arrested. All have been charged with capital murder in this case. They are identified as Eloy Camarillo, a 17-year-old Hispanic male arrested on April 30th, a 15-year-old juvenile arrested on May 5th, juvenile male, a second 15-year-old juvenile male arrested on May 20th, and Rodney Charles Hill, a 17-year-old black male arrested on May 27th. Just to clarify state law so you guys understand why they're charged the way they're charged. In Texas, the offense of capital murder includes intentionally committing murder during the course of a kidnapping, a robbery, a burglary, an aggravated sexual assault, obstruction or retaliation, or terroristic threat. In this case, the suspects entered Jamie's vehicle, also a Kia Soul, with the intent to steal it. In the state of Texas, when a person enters a vehicle with the intent to commit theft, they're committing the offense of burglary of a vehicle, making Jamie's murder a capital offense. Additionally, Texas law stipulates that a person can be held criminally responsible for the actions of another if, in the attempt to carry out one felony, another felony is committed by one of the conspirators. All conspirators are deemed guilty of the felony actually committed. Therefore, all the suspects in this case have been charged with capital murder.
At the heart of this crime epidemic, the one, the only, District Attorney Jose Garza, and now leaked internal guidelines from Travis County DA Jose Garza reveal a radical playbook that flouts prosecutorial protocol, reading like a manifesto ripped from the pages of a Soros-backed activist handbook. Garza's directives instruct prosecutors to avoid jail time, soften charges, and treat violent criminals like clients, prioritizing decriminalization over public safety. This aligns with his controversial history of dropping charges against 17 of 21 APD officers indicted for 2020 for protest actions, while pushing for a DOJ investigation into the very department he just let off. Political theater to dodge accountability. That's how he plays this game. And over in Let's Fund World War III Europe, Germany's new Chancellor, Friedrich Merz, announced Berlin's plan to bankroll Ukraine's development of long-range missiles to strike deep into Russia, sidestepping the range limits slapped on by Western suppliers like the US and the UK. This will surely prod the Great Bear out of its cave in Moscow, what with Berlin's defense ministry funneling a hefty $5 billion in military aid to Kiev to fuel this arms race that continues to spiral out of control. The deal, sealed with a memorandum between German and Ukrainian defense ministers, aims to churn out these unrestricted missiles within the next few weeks, leveraging Ukraine's existing production muscle. While Merz claims it's about Ukraine's self-defense, the Kremlin's calling it what it is: Germany's direct plunge into the war echoing dangerous historical echoes of Berlin's past overreaches.
The last 3 years have been harrowing to me in the West. I've learned, among other things, the propaganda state in the West is an incredible empire, far bigger and stronger than I ever imagined. We are unable to see from the inside of the matrix the lies that have enveloped us, that Russia and China and Iran and so forth are our moral enemies, mortal enemies. This isn't true. But we have succumbed to that because our media, the networks, and the elitist media have told us repeatedly, inventing lies about our enemies. The worst of it was George Orwell. It's George Orwell time. Imbecilic accusations against Mr. Putin and his Russia. In the old days, even in the worst of the Cold War, we never referred to Russia as Khrushchev or Brezhnev. That's what we're doing now. We call Russia Putin because Putin, for whatever reason, has been personalized. This isn't policy. This is a tragic substitution of hatred for intelligence.
And the only way to fight corruption is to wield positivity and awareness, to attune yourself to a higher vibration, to relieve yourself of your aches and pains. And that is a real possibility. The Wellness Pro Plus from Electromedical Technologies is a game changer for those battling chronic pain. After 2 decades of sitting and editing day in and day out, my lower back has suffered immensely. This FDA-cleared, certified device harnesses biofrequency technology using energy, frequency, and vibration to stimulate the body's natural healing processes, offering a drug-free path to pain relief. Unlike pills that mask symptoms and chain you to a 6-hour wait, the Wellness Pro Plus allows on-demand sessions with testimonials praising its ability to restore mobility and slash reliance on habit-forming drugs. This isn't just a device, it's a rebellion against the system that profits from your suffering. The new Wellness Pro Plus unit, set to drop in the coming months, promises to crank the stakes even higher with whispers of enhanced vibrational therapy features that could make it a cornerstone of holistic healing. Building on the success of its predecessor, this upgraded model is rumored to integrate advanced frequency algorithms and localized vibration therapy, drawing from the science of vibroacoustic therapy to retune the body at a cellular level. Vibrational therapy, rooted in ancient practices and modernized by pioneers like Gustav Zander, uses low-frequency oscillations to boost circulation, ease muscle tension, and even improve mental clarity. The Wellness Pro Plus is poised to empower the people, not the elites, with a tool to reclaim true wealth, your health. If you're interested in learning more, please contact me at boundreport@substack.com. Again, that's boundreport@substack.com about the Wellness Pro. And if you happen to visit their website, please tell them that you heard it on the Bowne Report. This device is a game changer. My family's used it for 5 years now, and in future Bowne Report Substacks, I will be exploring vibrational healing. Ancient Healing is available again. Speaking of ancient, in the past month, Egypt's ancient sites have been thrust into the spotlight. The Giza Plateau is trembling under the weight of bombshell discoveries that threaten to rewrite history itself, yet the corporate media gatekeepers keep their eyes averted. Italian researchers using radar pulses uncovered a vast network of chambers and shafts thousands of feet beneath the Khafre Pyramid, hinting at a lost city or even the mythical Hall of Records, as reported by the Daily Mail on April 2nd, 2025, and predicted by Edgar Cayce and even Hermes the Thrice Great. Ancient Egyptian texts like the Book of the Dead point to Amenti, a subterranean city of the dead, sealed beneath the pyramids. But Egypt's former antiquities minister Zahi Hawass, who was recently on Joe Rogan making a fool of himself, dismisses it as mere weathering.
And the word Za'im in hieroglyphic above that.
Where's that at?
It's an Abu Sir. I found
but
it.
Are there photographs online?
Yes, in my book. I don't. I don't go online. Why I have to go online? I go to my book.
Oh no, I understand. But for everybody else.
Meanwhile, a controversial theory backed by geological evidence suggests the pyramids could be 38,000 years old, tied to a catastrophic comet-inducing flood, challenging the accepted 4,500-year timeline. As always, this is your free weekly report right here at boundreport.substack.com. You can join me at X at Newsbound, and you can always find me at boundreport.substack.com. John Bowne reporting.